Welcome to Canadian Analytical Laboratories. Today we're going to take a tour of the facilities and show you some of the toys we have upstairs. The entire building is access controlled here, including the elevator that will take us to the second floor. So life as a sample starts right here. This is our sample entry area, and we have different entry points into the building. We have warehouse operations that allow for skid loads of product, and we also have same-day courier that brings samples to here every day. Right here is where samples are unpacked, assessed for integrity, and then they're entered into our laboratory information management system, which is our LIM system. The LIM system controls all the specifications, tests right down to the assignment of work to the analysts. Once everything is entered here, the work is distributed amongst all the different technologies. And as you pan around throughout the laboratory here, you can see all the technologies are divided into individual rooms with individual HVAC. So this is our mineral lab in here, and what we do in here is we quantitate macro, micro, and trace minerals, and also contaminants. So in this room here, we've built redundancy for analytical testing of dietary supplements. So we have two ICP OESs. They can do absorption and emission measurements, of course. And we have two ICP MSs. So they have Agilent 7900 ICP MSs, which have auto samplers. One here, one right there in the corner back there, and two ICP OESs. In the corner, what you'll see is atomic absorption, a little bit of an older technology, typically used for mineral sunscreens. So we have high throughput in this area. This is where the machines are. You can see each room here is equipped with its own HVAC, so we can control temperature and humidity parameters to minimize drift and issues with calibration. This is our GC lab, and we have a number of GCs all equipped with auto samplers and headspace analysis, typically used for anything volatile, so in alcohols and derivatives. We do a lot of fatty acid analysis here after exhaustive methylation. The gas farm is right in behind there. These are equipped with FID, TC, and ECD detectors, depending on what sort of molecule we're after. This is the first of 3 GC MS quadruples that we have on site. We use this particular one for pesticide residues, USP 561, for natural health products and dietary supplements. This is a triple quad, so you're getting secondary fragmentation patterns and mapping them to daughter ions. So triple quad, so 3 daughter ion mapping for the different pesticide residues. This is also connected with Headspace for development of sample matrices, which need more TLC than regular GC samples. So this is one of 4 LCMs MS triple quads that we have on site. These are Shemazdu's. This is where the predominantly vitamin analysis is performed here. Again, triple quad, so we're relying on secondary fragmentation patterns. You take the original molecular ion peak and you subject it to a collision again, and the fragmentation pattern we select based on filtering for the M/Z ratio, and link that to the unique identity of the analyte we're after. There are 2 here. These are high throughput, and there's 2 down the hallway that we'll see later on. And so in this room we have 2 of the Agilent high-resolution machines. We have 2 LCMSs in the LCMS MS and 2 GCMS MS. We use these machines to develop all of the pesticide residues for cannabis for the Israeli market about 6 months ahead of most of the laboratories in North America. So we're very proud of the work we did here. We use these predominantly for contaminants and drug impurities such as nitrosamines. So this is one of 2 LC labs that we have on site. Here you'll see predominantly waters, HPLCs, 1 or 2 Agilent machines, a brand new 1290 over there, which is equipped with refractive index fluorescence and standard UV detection systems. Across the lab we have UV, diode array, refractive index, fluorescence as main detection systems. In the back of the lab you'll see there's a LCMS from Waters. You realize Waters makes great HPLCs, but not so great LCMSs as a equipment piece of advice. So predominantly Waters. Everything is hooked up to Empower 3 as our processing software for all of the analysis that we do here. So this is a column storage area where we keep most of our HPLC columns. Kind of cool feature that a lot of people enjoy during the tour. We keep our dedicated columns here. It's another HPLC lab that you can see. Again, predominantly Waters machines here, 1 or 2 Agilent machines. This is our balance room. This is an example of one of our micro balances. And we have a number of balances that are all connected to the Mettler LabX software. We have a TGA machine here, useful for profiling impurities. And in the back of the room, we have an auto titrator, which helps us do moisture and various different titrations. All of these scales are calibrated on a daily basis as a verification. And then there's an external agency that comes in to perform the calibration required in our quality programs. So here we have a LICO machine. This is an automated machine, basically predicated on the Kaldal method to do rapid protein analysis. And in the back we have a TOC machine where we monitor all of our water for total organic carbon. So entering the Microlab. Microlab is access control to only microbiologists, and this separated by an airlock and HEPA filters up above. In here, we keep all of our incubators and media storage outside of the actual microlab where the work's actually being performed. So in here, you'll see laminar flow hoods across the wall there, biological safety cabinet, and then through the other side, we have all of our media preparation. So we do our media preparation in here. All of the plating is done under laminar flow hood conditions. So stop 2 on the life of a sample at Cal is sample storage room. Once it's assigned an analytical report number through LIMS, it makes its way here, and then the samples are distributed based on the tests that have been requested. Okay, so we have 3 things in here of interest. Behind me is an autoclave that we use to sterilize waste loads and media preparation. We have our water system, which provides us with USP grade purified water for our chemistry and microanalysis. And we have our automatic dishwasher, which is fully qualified and validated for our glassware. So here's where we store our USP reference standards that are to be kept at room temperature. We have fridges and freezers throughout the site, but we store all of our primary reference standards and secondaries right here. Behind me you have all the different glassware that we utilize in our wet chemical preps. So this is our spectroscopy room. We have Fourier transform infrared with ATR assemblies, so we can do direct IR measurements on finished dosage forms. We have a polarimeter here for optical purity. We have another FTIR on this side. We have a melting point apparatus. We also have a near IR, and this is especially important for botanical identification, where we build a library of different botanicals and compare correlations between the two. We have 2 UV spectrophotometers here on this side. We do our allergen testing on this side, so gluten, 16 types of allergens that we do at Cal, all through PCR type of assays. We have a dietary fiber machine here, which helps us quantitate fiber. And then again, on the botanical side, we have HPTLC, which allows us to measure qualitatively identification of different botanical ingredients. For those of us that know Cal, we started in natural products, so we have a wide range of experience with botanical identification. And whether it's a crude herb, whether it's an extract, standardized extract, we have developed many methods to identify these botanicals. This is our disintegration and dissolution room here. Do a lot of dissolution for different drug products, and interestingly enough, some natural products also, especially the time release variety. Do disintegration rupture testing for natural products in this room. So you saw the fanciest part of the lab with all of the LCMSs. This is where the most important work is done, the wet chemical prep area. So we have microwave digestion and fume hoods where a lot of the solutions are prepared and samples are prepared and homogenized in this area right here. This is our latest example of redundancy in equipment. These are 2 brand new LCMS MS triple quads from Shimazdu, one for the overflow in production and one exclusively dedicated for development work. So this is the part of the operation where we do a lot of formulation development and pilot plant manufacturing, sort of testing and things like that. We have a wide range of different botanicals and ingredients, and we deal with different dosage formats like solid doses like capsules, powders, tablets, as well as liquids and suspensions. It can be clear or multi-phase emulsions that we deal with here. But we are on our way to the stability chambers. So you'll see here 2 walk-in chambers for real-time studies, accelerated conditions, and intermediate conditions. This is for real-time studies, and it's hooked up with automated alarms so that in case there's an excursion, a member of the quality team will be able to be notified and to take appropriate action where necessary. It's a walk-in chamber, and we have an identical chamber on the other side of the wall, which serves as redundancy in case this particular one goes down. So you'll see this is a completely empty one, which serves as our redundancy in case one of the chambers goes down. In this area, we have one accelerated chamber, we have one intermediate chamber, we have another one coming for Zone 3 studies, and this is a photostability chamber with a hot pack behind me. This is an area of standalones that we use for stability studies at Cal. So we're in the second part of our R&D sort of activities that we do at Cal. This is a physical lab where we take herbs such as wild garlic and rose petals and things. We take herbs like this and we utilize technologies like ultrasonication and using the Silverson to actually develop tinctures and extracts to study constituents of botanicals in a much more detailed way. You take these upstairs to the lab and then submit them to all of those different analytical techniques that you were shown. And this gives us a really good feel for how botanicals behave in finished dosage formats, actually seeing the physical herbs and the different excipients in this lab help us really with the development of our assays upstairs. That concludes our tour. Thanks very much for spending time with us today. We look forward to serving your analytical needs in the future.